salute to my general, It's Hidden Leaf, for sponsoring man in the Patreon. Anyone else who wants to support the YB, join the team, interact with the YB, request videos, patreon.com/the YB. As you man can see on your screen now, Dillian, the Deontay Wilder cheek buster Whyte, has sent a message out which I can confirm from someone from my source within Deontay Wilder's camp has sent him even deeper into hiding. I've heard after Deontay Wilder saw this message, he got straight on the blower to Maurizio Suleiman at WBC headquarters, and he rang up, and this is the recording I got.
Oh, Mauricio. Oh, Dillian Whyte said he wants maximum violence. Oh, Mauricio, I was thinking maybe, can we book the, Dominic Breazeale 2 fight and, Luis Ortiz 3 fight for 2021? Because, I know, I was meant to be fighting Dillian Whyte, but, he talking about maximum violence. He talking about busting my cheeks. I don't really want my Eritrean cheeks busted. Oh.
So you heard the recording then? That is a leak, simple as that. You might consider, oh, YB, that's not no recording. It is what it is. That's Deontay Wilder begging Maurizio Suleiman not to have to fight Dillian Whyte next year. And one thing I will say, to be fair though, I am getting frustrated with. I want to see Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder the most, but I am getting frustrated with Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn's a bit is not as. I think he's losing a bit. I think he's half losing it, to be fair. What was it the other day? He's talking about AJ's lost and Fury and Wilder they've earned their 50% and it's got to be 50-50. That was the first thing. Then the next thing, you got this situation here where we know there's been many precedents set for WBC's been sued all over the place. And initially, back in December, Eddie Hearn said himself, WBC nearly got bankrupted by someone suing them, for not giving them a mandatory when they earned it or whatever. Not giving them a title shot when they earned it. And that's what Eddie Hearn was saying initially, and I thought, well, wicked, finally we're getting there. But ever since then, they've gone on different, we're not gonna sue, we're just gonna, what? I just don't get that. To me, the quicker you get him in court, the better. Because the longer you leave it, all you're doing is just sitting there and you're going to get mugged off. And I've got a bad feeling about this 2021 situation. I just don't like it. I don't know what's going to happen. And the crazy thing is, I've even heard from Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn, they've even said themselves, we know when it comes to 2021, Wilder's just going to become franchise. I thought, what the F? If you know that, if you know Deontay Wilder is going to run around and become franchise, which makes sense, and I reckon that's why Wilder's waiting, because from Wilder's point of view, initially, when they made Lomachenko franchise, people said, why isn't Wilder being made franchise? And that's when the LDBC came out and said, oh man, well Deontay Wilder, he a real champion. He don't want none of that goofy. He don't want none of that. But the truth is, the reason Wilder's waiting is because he doesn't want to blow his ammo, meaning that if Wilder becomes franchise now, then that gives Dillian Whyte plenty of time to line his crosshairs up. Does that make sense? That gives Dillian Whyte a lot of time to say, yep, alright, Wilder's franchise, give me the mandatory for that title. Does that make sense? Whereas what Wilder wants to do, he wants to say WBC right up until the point, probably a week before Dillian Whyte's mandatory is made. Then he wants to say, I'm franchise now. And at which point, Dillian Whyte will be made mandatory, or Dillian Whyte's mandatory will be called for the WBC regular. And at that point, when Dillian Whyte says, I want to change it to the franchise champion, they'll then say, the thing is, all you've got is this regular World Championship mandatory, and it's going to take another year for us to book you in for that. See what I mean? That's what will happen. Or apparently you can't even get mandatories for that title. So that's what essentially what he's waiting for. He wants to pull it off slyly. He wants to make sure that Dillian Whyte doesn't get enough time to orientate himself in front of Wilder. Wilder wants to push it right to the edge. That's what he's doing. But still, at this point, we have to hold a level of responsibility here with Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte. Pull him in. Now, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, to be fair. Maybe there's some legal reasoning why they can't do this. But if there isn't, just take him to court, spend some bread, and get him in there. Because I've heard that, we know for a fact, that not only can you demand the mandatory also, you can get some financial recompense. So it makes sense from a business point of view as well. Either you end up with a mandatory shot and some money, or even if you lose, which I'm not sure you would. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, things need to be done now because it's been X amount of days, and also you're getting shafted for the whole UCAD situation because you were meant to be the mandatory for 2020, but then they said, oh well, the UCAD thing happened, so we've moved you back, we've given Fury a spot. Well, he's been cleared for that, so shouldn't you be how has Dillian Whyte essentially lost out for something that he's been cleared of? So either way, every way we chop this up, it results in Dillian Whyte needs to take these people to court, or explain why it's not happening. I don't get it. Oh well, we know Maurizio's going to do the right thing. What? How do you know that? Because I don't know that. The only thing I know Maurizio Sulaiman would do is protect Deontay Wilder's skinny little cheeks. That's all they're going to do. They're going to protect his skinny little glutes from being busted by Dillian Whyte. That's the long and the short of it. The only thing the WBC's ever been good at in the last 5 years is protecting Deontay Wilder's skinny left and right cheek from being split from to east to west. That's what's going to happen, yeah? He's going to be on he's going to be bent over with his cheeks pointed square in the air at a 90-degree angle, straight up, ripe and ready to be busted. That's what's going to happen. But they don't want that. Wilder don't want it. He just don't. But that said, you've got to... I don't hear no one... And the thing is as well, people can say, oh, YB, you've always say this. No, I don't hear no one else saying it. I don't hear no one saying that Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte need to do what... I'm pretty sure Lennox Lewis did it against Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was about 20 years past his best, but still, Lennox Lewis did it then. I'm pretty sure he was successful as well. Because either Wilder has to relinquish the belt, and even to be honest, even if Wilder does relinquish the belt and then run off to a franchise, that'll be a great look anyway, because it will prove that Wilder's running around the place. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the LDBC will spin it. They'll say,
oh man, well, our champion Deontay Wilder, he the franchise champion. That's the real champ. He the ultimate champion. That's what they'll spin it. They'll spin it as if the franchise is like some magical belt, which means, oh yeah, man. Well, actually, the WBC franchise belt, that's the original belt. That's the first belt that's actually made. They'll try and rewrite history and make out the franchise belt was the first belt to ever exist and all this kind of goofy stuff, as they always do. You don't even, well, to be honest, actually, the crazy thing is, I've even heard some LDBC generals asking for Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian Whyte, and I'm going to do a video on this, but the fact that even they're asking for it now is peak for him. Truly peak. Even your own generals want you to get in there with Dillian Whyte, but you just don't want it. You just don't. You know it's bad when your own fans want you to do a fight and you flat out refuse. But anyway, Dillian Whyte, you see the message here? He said, last year was a hell of a year for me. Too much changes and too much negativity. And I think it says I'm trying. Oh wait there. Last year was a hell of a year for me. Too much changes and too much negativity. And trying to be more relaxed and less savage. That ends now. So he's telling Deontay Wilder, I'm done with trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. I'm done with trying to be more relaxed. Yeah, I'm coming to straight split cheeks. I'm coming to send cheeks to the east and to the west. Yeah, split. Purely split. They won't, in fact, by the time Dillian Whyte's finished with Wilder's cheeks, there won't be no cheeks. All you'll see is a little dot, the middle. Yeah, all you're gonna see is a gooch and a hole. There won't be no cheeks. A gooch and a hole. Deontay gooch and a hole Wilder. That's what you're gonna see. There won't be no cheeks. They'll be so split. They'll be ripped apart. That's what will happen. That's what he's telling you here. Listen, no more relaxed. Straight cheek busting. No more less savage. It's ended now. 2020 is the year of maximum violencia and rage. And like I said, the reason you heard Deontay Wilder on the blower to Maurizio Sulaiman at the start of this video, he shook. He didn't want Dillian Whyte when he was half depressed and whatnot. He don't want him now when he's bang on it. That's the last thing he wants. Deontay Wilder is scared of fighting someone who goes in there with purpose. He likes to fight people who are off the couch and who are half retired and who have been inactive for 4 years. He don't want Dillian. He just don't want it, man. And I actually think it's a relatively even fight. I think it's a great fight to see.
And so did the LDBC, but it's a shame they don't put pressure on their champion. And that's one thing I do like about supporting certain British fighters like AJ or Dillian Whyte or even Chisora. In fact, most of them, to be honest, is the fact they actually want the smoke. I'd hate to be from a place like... No, it's not even about the place, to be fair, but I'd hate to be a Deontay Wilder supporter. Because he don't... You know for a fact, if you're lucky, you're going to get a bum fight. As if you're lucky. Like, oh, yeah, and they have to be so fake. They have to rant and rave about Deontay Wilder versus Brazil. Wow. Do you remember that when Deontay Wilder initially announced the fight of Brazil versus Wilder? And at the time, it was at the time that AJ offered him 120 million. And I remember that AJ was offering him 120 million, yeah? Then, in the middle of that stuff going on, that massive offer, a record-breaking offer going on, Deontay Wilder announced Wilder versus Brazil, and all of a sudden at the press conference he was saying, after all these months of saying,
oh man, we going in a different direction.
saying all this moist stuff, oh, why the two black brothers have to fight? After all these months of declining AJ's offers and whatnot, all of a sudden it comes to the Wilder versus Brazil press conference and he's saying,
oh man, you best dig a grave. Cause this nigga going in the grave, I'm gonna bury this.
Wait a minute, what happened to Mr. Moist? All these months you spent being Moissanite, then you're fighting some bum ass dude no one wants to see, and you're getting hyped. We want to see the hype. I want to see Deontay Wilder talking hella greasy in front of Dillian, the cheek buster Whyte. That's what I want to see. I want to see Deontay Wilder talking greasy, talking about burials, talking about graveyards when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Why is it we don't get that? We only ever see him talking hella greasy when he's in there with some bum-ass dude who can't defend himself. You don't hear him. Like, he avoids even for Fury. He don't turn up to the press conference. But it's interesting. You never see Wilder missing the Dominic Brazil press conference, do you? He's always at the press conferences where he feels nice and safe. The minute he's not too sure about his environment, he don't want to turn up. Dude's shook. Completely shook to pieces. Anyway, Dillian Whyte needs to get onto WBC, take him to court. No more negotiation. No more being on the side. Straight court. And that's how they need... I hate to say it every time, but we've already seen how these cats act. Al Heyman only knows the rule of law. Look at the Andy Ruiz situation. He spent all them months trying to be goofy, trying to be smart about it, took him to court, and he fell into line within, I think, 24 hours. Within 24 hours of the court case dropping, he was in line. Al Heyman fell straight back into line. And it'll be the same for this WBC case. I'm not even sure you actually go to court. WBC, they'll realise then, you know what, these guys aren't playing. They're not taking my SHIT anymore. But it's up to them. It's up to Dillian Whyte, I guess. If he wants to keep going along and going back and forth, then that's his business. But I think that's what needs to happen.